one of the main people who were involved with Diddy, Jeremy, what's his name? Jeremy Chaviner or whatever. I can't pronounce his last name. These people who were involved in the Diddy camp wanted to express very vocally that they're disappointed in the way that this teaser Tales was illustrating her, collective freedoms to embarrass, talk down on, and pretty much defame Sean Diddy Combs and misleading information in the trial. Whatever the prosecution says, she spins it to try to make it sound like it's the most damning thing in the world. And whatever the defense does, she overlooks or ignores to try to make it look and paint a narrative as if they're losing, to make the general public believe a narrative that is false. And they keep pushing the envelope, pushing the Diddy trial, pushing everything to try to garnish some type of success in the creative space. Now, other people have made hundreds of thousands of dollars just to go along with this agenda. I refuse to go along with the agenda because I don't believe it. And once I start seeing things that are inaccurate, as this woman claims that she's made a lot of inaccurate statements, and she's taking true statements and trying to spin them into her own narrative, saying, oh, Diddy's done, oh, Diddy's on the trial, Diddy's doing this, Diddy's doing that. And I'm like, how is Diddy doing these things and Diddy's not on the stand? Oh, they fried Diddy today. The prosecution got him on the stand. I'm like, he's not on the stand. He's not on trial. Like what is she doing? It's really, if you listen to it, it's so one-sided and jaded, it doesn't even make sense. And she's going over the fact that the defense said that they don't think she should be there. Absolutely. They don't think that Dawn Richards should be there in the case. She's trying to tell them the emotions of what they're thinking and what Diddy's thinking. You don't know what Diddy's thinking, lady. You don't tell me. Diddy was staring at, the lawyer was staring at me and he gave me a frown. I would frown at you too, lady. Yes, let me get a large chocolate shake.
Sorry, I don't have no shake at the moment.
What?
Yeah, well, I'm doing the cream.
This is crazy. Let me get the steakhouse Whopper.
Do you want the meal?
Yes, I'll take the meal.
Can I drink?
Make it a lemonade.
Anything else?
I want it cut in half.
Okay.
That's it. Goofy. How you not gonna have a chocolate shake? Eating steak is unhealthy? No, my blood pressure's fine. My watch tell me. I got a watch that tells me that stuff. So, yeah, I got to get this toxic Nick stuff out of my system. Well, The matter of facts that people are trying to bring up is that Teaser tells basically goes along with the salaciousness about Cassie. She's not telling you that Cassie is damn well admitted that even with her boyfriend that she's with now, or her husband, while they were dating, she went back and slept with Diddy while she just FaceTimed with the other guy. She actually went back and did another freak off with him on her own volition. So if this was so egregious, she left a statement also saying that, and this is what Teaser Tales don't want to talk about. She left a statement saying that after Diddy said, "I hope you don't hate me," and all this stuff in 2020. And she was like, "Oh," he said, "You're my ride or die chick," and all of these things in the text message. She was, "Oh, I had to gather my thoughts because, like, if I didn't go through the journey with you, I would never arrive at this peace I'm at now. So, no, I will never hate you." This is in 2020. She went on to say all these positive things about Diddy. Now, if this man R-worded you in a hotel and did all these things that you claimed he did to you, and you saying all these nice things to him in 2020, this was 2 years after you guys had not seen each other. 2 years after you haven't seen each other. Why isn't Teaser Tales talking about that? Why is she not talking about that? Why Teaser Tales isn't pointing out those facts to you? Because those facts don't align with her case of protecting Cassie and the prosecution at all times and all points. Meanwhile, they promote her little whack-ass videos. Will she make 20 damn videos today? "Ooh, I just got out of trial, and then this happened, and then this happened, and ooh, they got Diddy. I don't know what y'all think about Diddy having a good day. Oh, he didn't have a good day." Everybody said he had a good day when the cross-examination happened. And it really hurt the prosecution. Every lawyer who isn't biased had to admit the prosecution did not close these holes. The prosecution left the door wide open. And they have been doing not a bang-up job. They've been doing a job of shock and awe, but they have not proved the charges. And that's where we at. That's why I can't trust certain internet to get you the news, because it's not about the hits. They want to push these assholes in charge up so that you can see them when they know they lying out their teeth.
$13.74.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Somebody sent me a clip and a timestamp that really got me hot. It didn't get me hot, but it just got me to the point like, damn. Like, people are just so stupid. So they wanted me to respond to it. And it was by somebody who was, I felt was being a little shady. Now, the process was this, all right? And I want you guys to follow me on this. As this whole thing was in development, the process was going like this. You have one individual, right? And this individual said that they've already proven fraud against Sean Diddy Combs. That's one of the charges. We've already got him for fraud. We already got him for one of the cases. Now, earlier in the trial, they thought they already had him, like, we already got him, like, that's already convicted on that first charge. And then they said, no, You know, this is the best domestic violence, not trafficking. So that's not there. Now, according to this one individual who claimed that they got Diddy on fraud, this one individual, when they sent me the timestamp and they wanted my opinion on it, said they got him on fraud because Cassie had a 10 album deal and she only recorded one album. So that's got to be fraud. People, I swear, the people y'all listen to for information, if they don't cover or don't know anything about the music business from that perspective of contracts, please don't listen to them. Please don't. I'm sorry. Please don't. Just stop. Okay? Because that's like some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. I mean, don't that sound dumb? Cassie can record 2,000 songs.
Thank you.
Thank you. She could record 2,000 songs. It is up to the discretion of the record label on what they want to do with the songs. It is up to their discretion. Do you not know why it's up to their discretion? Because they're the ones that's financing this thing. When they agreed and signed you to this contract, under the terms of these contracts, they have to meet certain conditions. They provided you the money. In some cases, they provide you housing. They provide you with a studio cost. You have a budget. Okay? And as long as you're under contract, this is provided to you as long as you're providing what you're supposed to provide in the contract. It's a loan. So how could it be fraud if they've already loaned you the money and you have not recouped? If the record company doesn't feel what you recorded is good enough to put out on the streets, they don't have to release it. Okay, the albums have to be approved by their standards. Now, if you recorded and completed means not just recorded the songs, but put together an album and they just don't want to release it, then you have to motion it into court. Did Cassie ever claim fraud in court and file papers to try to get herself released out of the label? Did she get a lawyer and do all of that? No. So where is the fraud? How could it be fraud? She never complained about her record deal because she was paid more than what she ever would have gotten out of her record deal just by being with Diddy. So where the hell is the fraud? See, that's why I keep telling y'all got to stop listening to idiots. Okay, I understand that you heard it and you wanted to bring it to me, and the timestamp, I appreciate it, but I don't watch that person because I already know that person don't know what the hell he's talking about. That person just talking. So when they don't know the record business, they don't know common sense in the record business. Anybody from the record business would have heard that, would have laughed their ass off. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I can just, every artist in the world then would claim fraud. They'd be, yo, man, it's fraud because I just made 300,000 songs, man, for them. And then they ain't, man, that's got to be 10 albums. So I'm out my deal. It don't work that way. Because anybody could come in and just say, a doo-doo don't stop, a doo-doo don't stop, a doo-doo don't stop. Okay, they don't even care. They just make the songs just to get off the album. No, you have to complete an album. You have to go through the process of suing. Did you see Meg Thee Stallion, what she did to get out of her deal? Right? She owed them albums. She had to go and complete the albums. And they said, oh, we completed him, but he don't want to release him. Well, if she wants a release, she has to go through the certain paperwork saying, I got completed albums. This person doesn't want to do it. That's fraud. Now, if you completed an album It's completed. It's up to their discretion, and they're holding it, and it's messing with your contract and the terms of your deal. Now that's fraud. But recording a bunch of songs, and if you know Cassie, Cassie has not made any records because she can't sing. They bring up that 106 in Park and her bombing on TV because she couldn't sing. She's like, I couldn't hear. Cassie couldn't sing. She had one hit song that she had with Ryan Leslie, that Me and You. Then she redid it over with Diddy. Now, when this chick lied about oral sex, talking about Diddy introduced her to oral sex. Okay, let's say we believe that. So when you made the song Me and You were emulating giving somebody a blowjob in that song. And you had that song with Ryan Leslie, who you dated basically for 2 years, who was 10 years older than you before you ran into Diddy. Now, since we all talking here, let's get to the grease. Now that we know that, what else we need to know? Hmm? What else do we need to know? Oh, well, they're not going to make a move. You know why they're not going to make a move? Because it don't make sense. That was his diamond girl. My diamond girl. And he was working for Diddy. And he went and found Cassie. Cassie was in the modeling. Her parents put her into the modeling. She started performing in this little cocktail lounge where she met Ryan Leslie. He saw her performing there. And he was like, yo, I'm going to scoop this up. Then she saw Diddy lifestyle. Cassie ain't fooling nobody. She liked the lifestyle. She's willing to get down with anything Diddy asked her to do. Case is weak as hell. It was like, oh, they called Diddy. The government called him because, see, they got this thing on tape, and they got the valves. They got all this, and they got this thing, and this doctor, ooh, this doctor who got this, girl, you better lawyer up, because they finna dump all this on you, girl. Whoever was in that room with Diddy, oh, they gonna dump it on you. Teaser tails. Let me talk to you again, you dizzy bitch. Um, they don't have to pin it on her. Okay, they can't go back and charge her because they never did an investigation to find out who it was. They just attributed it to Diddy. But all Diddy had to do was say, was there materials of a female in the room? And when they said yes, now you've already attributed that someone else was in the room. So it doesn't have to mean it belongs to Sean Diddy Combs. You have to prove that all you found belonged to Sean Diddy Combs. They haven't even gotten to the guns. They haven't gotten to the guns in the trial. Don Richards' testimony is hurting Diddy. It's all about domestic violence. So how's it hurting Diddy? We've already covered Diddy. I mean, how many more beatdowns do we need to hear? Well, he locked her in a car. Okay. Do we get to trafficking yet? Because I'm not hearing any of that. You know what I'm hearing? Excuses. You know what I'm hearing? Lies. You know what I'm hearing? Why this didn't happen? Oh, we should have had it this way. Oh, they should have been doing this. All right, all she's doing is making up salacious stories against Diddy. And for what? For money. Well, the burden of proof when there isn't any proof. Having Cassie break down in tears, all this nonsense. Yeah, Cassie's bum ass husband, and this is why she was going on a tour before she got this deal from Diddy. She was getting ready to go on doing a tour with some DJ, and she canceled it when she got her settlement check. She got her $20 million, and she was like, "All right, I cancel that." And they was like, "Why'd you cancel?" It was because of the money. Then she got paid $10 million from the hotel right before the trial starts. You see, all of this shit here is a mess. Cassie released her first album in 2006 of August with Bad Boy Records, and the album didn't do diddly squat. She can't sing, she can't dance. All they could do was try to sell her looks. She was basically talentless. Um, Diddy broke up with Kim Porter after they welcomed twin girls in December of 2006. Then he broke up with Kim Porter in 2007. Then Diddy Combs and Cassie started dating publicly in 2007. Then in August of 2009, they went public with their relationship. Then September 2018 is when they broke up. November of 2018, Kim Porter dies of pneumonia, right? So they broke up in September of 2018, and Kim Porter died of pneumonia. Mm-hmm. So while she was dating her then husband, she was sleeping with Diddy. And he called while she was trying to FaceTime with her while she was getting fucked. Now, I don't know how you want to register that. I really don't. I don't know how you want to draw that up. I don't even know what is the steps to draw that up. All I could tell you is this. She was getting filled out like an application. So the biggest story you could actually say is the why. Like, why is that happening? Why is this girl getting, that type of treatment? Why is she being, um, drawn and quartered like a horse? Why is she being put in compromising situations? Why is she being knocked down instead of pulled up? Why is this happening to Cassie Ventura? Right? Because she wanted it. She put herself in this situation because you were there for 11 years, and then after the 11 years, you still going back sleeping with the dude and talking about how, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had this peace, so I could never hate you. So you in there writing positive things about him, but here you are trying to come back for money and play on the sympathy of people that just hate him and want to hate him. You're in the wrong court. You should be in a state court, not a federal court. Where's the trafficking? Where is the racketeering? Where is all of the coercion? I don't, these are the charges that he's charged with. He's not charged with putting a foot in your ass. I'm not saying he should have. I'm just saying he's not charged with that. These are the facts. I'm sorry. When I got out of the car, it does that from time to time. Yeah, it does that from time to time. I keep forgetting it does that. When I get out of the car, it just stuck in the car until I dip out and dip back in. Well, we wanted to make sure we do things the right way, and in this trial, you have a lot of things that are out the ordinary, like things that shouldn't be in the category whatsoever. Like, I'm still trying to figure out, what does Don Richards have to do with this case? She's there to corroborate that, what, she saw Cassie get beat. Okay. She got beat. Okay. What does that have to do? Diddy has already admitted to domestic violence against Cassie, and Cassie has admitted that she has put hands on Diddy. So, what does Don Richards have to add to the situation? I don't know. Cassie has done drugs. She's admitted to that. She admitted to being in rehab. She's admitted to doing all of these things. Now, on my Casino for Life channel, I'll go into the Suge Knight thing because a lot of people don't really understand what that was about and what was going on. There were a lot of complications dealing with this trial. I mean, hell, could I have been a witness of being around Cassie? Well, when you start seeing problems develop, these are the situations that normally or usually are abundant when you're dealing with sensitive matters. Because, Diddy's daughters are in there and they don't want them to see the sex tape and none of that stuff. Like they're there to support and they're there looking at Cassie, to see her because, yeah, I mean, we've seen numerous of people try to emulate um, and make their own interpretations on who's winning the case and how's the prosecution. They have the lead. I mean, they have the judge eating out the palm of their hands, and the defensive team is not able to make a lot of assertions to what other people believe that they need. Like they keep saying to the defense, the judge is like, well, why didn't you do this? If you felt like this was domestic violence, why didn't you just do this? And they're like, and a lot of the things they're saying, look, I thought we could do that and cross. A lot of the stuff that they're used to doing, this judge is like not allowing, or he's allowing to be manipulated by the federal government. And he's kind of noticing that the federal government is also blowing things up, and he's been giving them a lot of leeway and being nice and working with them. Now, he was able to let the defense, interview Cassie over the years, you know, let them go in there and give her some more time, because it was years and years of stuff they had prepared for, and they had to do it in such short time, and they didn't have enough time to do it. And the prosecution's like, hey, we should be able to, you know, reenact and reply to that. You gave us a day and a half. We gave them a day and a half. And they're like, no. They were like, screw that. Day and a half. What are you talking about, lady? Screw that day and a half. Screw that. You can keep that. Zip that day and a half stuff. Yeah, they talking that day and a half. They was like, look, you had two witnesses that you brought up. Now, bringing up Jonathan to take the stand is going to be interesting because Jonathan has been clinically declared a nutcase in a mental hospital. This man went into a facility armed with a firearm, got into a shootout with cops. Lucky to be alive right now, and that they didn't take his life. But they're talking about putting somebody who's mentally incompetent on the stand. I just don't see how do you convict when so far, it's still the start, but they have not connected the dots to prove trafficking, racketeering, coercion, And if you don't have the coercion, you don't have the trafficking. So there is no RICO, there is none of this stuff. So yeah, I know. Just wait for it. It's gonna get real ugly. What about Roger Bonds? What about Roger Bonds? That's why we're taking it step by step. When it's all said and done, we'll see where the chips fall. But until then, I'll holler at you. Stop listening to the clowns like Teaser tells.